Today at Apex Motoworks we've got a proper mix of bikes. A nearly new Kawasaki Z500 after a serious crash, a Ninja 650 after a low side, a Triumph Speedmaster 865 that needed a full mechanical overhaul, two Royal Enfields in for annual service, a Honda CBR 600RR with a full aftermarket fairing kit, a new Honda X-ADV getting navigation installed, plus a Kawasaki Eliminator and a GSX-S1000F for routine service work. Some jobs are simple, some are not. But every bike gets the same attention to detail. This is what's been happening inside our workshop. Alright, let's start with the Z500. This is a 2025 bike with only around 3,000 miles on it. And unfortunately, it really didn't get lucky. It went straight into the back of a car. So the bike came to us for a full accident repair. The good news is, the frame geometry is fine, but everything else, not so much. We've got a bent handlebar, bent fork legs, so badly bent that the front wheel was actually locked against the exhaust. The whole front fairing section is damaged, the brake pedal is bent, and there's a dent in the fuel tank from the rider's private area. Hopefully he's alright. Apart from that, the bike is actually not too bad. Surprisingly, the front rim is still straight and not bent. And like I said, the frame geometry checks out. So let's get into the work. And here are all the new parts we'll be fitting today. We've got a full fastener kit, new fork legs, seals and dust seals, a brand new genuine fuel tank, a new headlight, a new handlebar, and plenty of other parts needed to bring this bike back to life. So now it's time to strip it down, remove the damaged components, and start building it back into a proper motorcycle again. Alright, we've removed all the damaged parts and now we're moving on to the front forks. We'll be replacing the fork legs, and while we're there, we're also changing the bushes, oil seals and dust seals. Just look at these fork legs, they definitely don't look straight anymore. And here they are next to the new ones. That difference speaks for itself. A few final adjustments and the forks are fully rebuilt and ready to go back on the bike. Now we move on to fitting the yokes, with new bearings of course. And after that, we can install the front forks back into place. While the forks are going on, let's give the exhaust a quick clean as well. After all, this bike is almost brand new. This is what the exhaust looks like after only 3,000 miles when it hasn't been looked after properly. Nothing too serious though. A bit of chemical magic, and there we go. Clean exhaust, nice shine, much better. Now let's move on to the fuel tank. We remove the fuel pump and the fuel level sensor from the damaged tank and transfer everything over to the brand new genuine tank. Perfect. We're about halfway through now and the bike is ready for final assembly. Time to start putting it all back together. Every component that was damaged in the accident gets replaced with a new one. New panels, new fittings, new fairings, and step by step the bike starts looking like a motorcycle again. And there we go. Finally it's back on its own two wheels. This is how it looks halfway through the build. The geometry is restored, the gap is gone, everything lines up properly, and honestly it already looks brilliant. Now we keep going, finish the assembly, and bring the bike back to its final shape. The main part of the repair is done. The bike is assembled, now it's time for a full service. Fresh oil, new filter, fresh coolant and the proper check over to bring it back into the condition it should be in. And now the final result. Just look at it now. Correct geometry, brand new fairing kit, not a single scratch, fully refreshed, fully serviced and ready to take on the road again. From a crashed front end to a clean, sharp, almost new Z500. This is exactly why proper accident repair matters. Next Kawasaki in the workshop is this 2023 Ninja 650R. Compared to the Z500, this one is in much better shape. Just a small low side on the right hand side, but even a small slide can damage quite a few parts. The mirror took a hit, the clip-on is bent, the bar end was ripped out, the brake lever is broken and the right side fairing is damaged. Luckily, the headlight survived and looks completely fine. Moving further down, we've got damage to the rear brake pedal, the frame slider, the rear side panel, and one more thing. The rider foot peg has snapped off. The good news is, the engine wasn't touched at all. So yes, there's quite a lot of damage for what looks like a simple slide, but in reality, most of it is straightforward bolt-on repair work. We'll order new genuine fairings and all the damaged components, carry out a full service, replace the chain and sprockets, and finish the bike with a proper detail. Alright, that's the plan. Time to get to work. Alright, we get the bike onto the lift and start removing all the broken parts. And here we are at the main turning point of the teardown. The damaged foot peg and rear brake pedal are already replaced, and now we can start putting the bike back together. While we've got good access to the motorcycle, we take care of the service as well. Fresh oil, new filters, and a proper check over before final assembly. Next, we move on to fitting the remaining accident damaged parts. New components going on, everything lined up properly, step by step. But there's another issue. Because the bike had been sitting for quite a while, the chain had started to rust and needed replacing. So we cut the old link, removed the tired chain, fit the new one, set the correct tension, and install the master link properly. After that, we give the chain a good lubrication, making sure everything runs smoothly. And that's the assembly complete. Now all that's left is a proper wash, a bit of polishing, and bringing back that clean, tidy look this Ninja deserves. And here we are, another one done. New genuine parts fitted, damaged components replaced, full service completed, and the chain and sprockets sorted. This is a good example of why even a small slide shouldn't be underestimated. It might look minor at first, but once you go through the bike properly, there's usually more to check than people expect. But now everything has been inspected, repaired, serviced, cleaned and detailed. Another Kawasaki back on the road, and we can move on to the next bike. The next bike is a proper legend. This is a 2007 Triumph Speedmaster 865 and it came to us for full service. This bike has been used every day for a long time, so as you can imagine, there's quite a bit to go through. We start by stripping the bike down, and first job on the list is replacing the side stand. After that, we move into a deeper inspection. And this is where we start finding the real list. The bike has an electrical drain, poor battery charging, worn brake discs, brake pads worn right down to the limit, a damaged airbox with an air leak, tight valve clearances, dirty oil and filters, forks that look like they've never been serviced, and a few loose or damaged bolts along the way. So this isn't just a quick oil change. This is a proper mechanical refresh. We're going to inspect, replace and service everything that needs attention and bring this Speedmaster back to the condition it deserves. We start replacing what needs replacing. New chain, new sprockets, new brake pads, airbox repair, and we also deal with the electrical issue. The stator itself is healthy and producing good voltage, so the problem is not the generator. The charging issue comes from the regulator rectifier, so that gets replaced as well. Once the rear section is sorted, we move towards the center of the bike. As I mentioned earlier, the valve clearances were too tight. So we measure the existing shims, calculate the correct sizes, order and install new shims, replace the sealing gaskets, fit new spark plugs, and keep moving forward through the bike. Next, we remove the front wheel, replace the brake pads and brake disc, and then take the forks off the bike. And just look at the oil that came out of these forks. Absolutely horrible. Fresh fork oil goes in, everything is cleaned, checked and reassembled properly. At the same time, we replace the engine oil, bleed the braking system and carry out the final checks. And of course, no job is complete without a proper wash at the end. And here it is, the final result. This classic cruiser is now serviced, refreshed, charging properly, braking properly, and ready to keep tearing through space and time. And with the Speedmaster finished, we move on to the next bikes. Next, we continue with a bit more classic style. This time we've got two Royal Enfields in the workshop. A Meteor 350 and its bigger brother, the Interceptor 650. Both bikes are fairly fresh, well looked after, and there's nothing dramatic going on here. Just proper standard servicing done the right way. That means lubricating all the moving parts, replacing the brake pads, checking and adjusting the valve clearances, and making sure everything is working as it should. As always, we start with a full inspection and diagnostic check. We go through the bikes using our 32-point inspection, and then we open the official service manual to make sure everything required for the annual service is completed according to the mileage and service schedule. Nothing rushed, nothing skipped. Just clean, proper maintenance to keep both bikes reliable, safe and ready to ride. Now let's move on to the valve clearance adjustment. On both bikes, the valve clearances were out of specification. Some valves were too tight and some had too much clearance. Either way, they need to be adjusted back to factory specification. Next, we fill the engines with fresh oil, replace the filters, and finish putting both motorcycles back together. And of course, what kind of service would it be without a proper wash? We clean both bikes properly, remove all the workshop dust, and bring them back to the condition they deserve. And here's the final result. There's always something satisfying about seeing motorcycles clean, fully serviced, and ready to go again. Fluids replaced, brakes checked, valve clearances adjusted, filters changed, everything inspected, and both bikes ready for whatever comes next. And now, this Honda CBR 600RR came to us for a full fairing kit replacement after a small low sight on the right-hand side. And as usual with this kind of slide, the scratches were not limited to one panel. The damage went across multiple plastic parts from the front of the bike all the way to the rear. The owner brought us a complete fairing kit, so let's start stripping the bike down. The job sounds simple enough. Remove all the old plastics, transfer everything across, and fit the new fairings. But there was one problem. The kit the owner supplied was an aftermarket Chinese fairing kit. And honestly, this was one of the worst kits we've worked with so far. Some areas had poor paint coverage, some mounting points were missing completely, and in some places there were no holes where the fixing points should be. Trying to get the panel gaps right was almost impossible. In the end, fitting this kit took us around twice as long as fitting a good quality aftermarket kit and much longer than fitting original fairings. So this is a good reminder. Before choosing the cheapest option, think twice. Sometimes spending a little more on better parts saves a lot of time, frustration, and labor cost later. That said, after all the adjustments, trimming, aligning, and fitting, everything was installed correctly. No cracks, no scratches, clean panels, fresh look, and the bike finally looks the way it should again. Next up, a standard chain and sprocket replacement on a Suzuki GSX-S1000F 2018 model owned by one of our regular customers. We remove the old chain and sprockets, clean everything properly under the front sprocket cover, and prepare the area before fitting the new set. Then the new chain goes on, we set the correct chain tension, check the alignment, make sure everything runs smoothly, and finish with a final test. And finally, we had a very interesting case with this Honda X-ADV 750. The customer came to us asking if we could install a BMW Motorrad navigation system onto his Honda. And yes, it is absolutely possible. The main thing was to change the connector so it would work with the factory accessory socket on the Honda. But there is one limitation. The BMW Wonder Wheel control does not work on the Honda because the communication signal and CAN system are different between BMW and Honda. So we cannot connect the CAN wire and expect the BMW control system to work. But even without that, the navigator charges properly, powers on with the bike, and works perfectly as a standalone navigation unit. After that, we had a small job on this little Kawasaki Eliminator, fixing an indicator issue and carrying out a few basic checks. And that's pretty much it for some of the more memorable jobs we've had in the workshop recently. Although, we're already preparing a full episode on a ZX6R project with a full rebuild, remap, repaint, tuning and full sticker kit. And we've also got a big job coming on a ZZR 1400, but that's for the next episode. So stay tuned. And of course, if your motorcycle needs anything done, from small jobs to serious repairs, get in touch with Apex Motoworks. We'll be happy to look after every bike that comes through our doors. Thanks for watching, ride safe, and we'll see you in the next one.